This is Too Long for a Voice Note, a podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. Presented by Claire
and Enzo. Our podcast is produced in London. Some conversations are just too long for a voice note.
Hey, he's Enzo.
And she's Claire.
And this is Too Long for a Voice Note.
Welcome back, guys.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for another week of our podcast. How are you, Enzo?
It's been good. So good. It's finally sunny and bright in London. You can tell we're wearing like a bright top as well to match the energy of the city.
Are you happy that
it's
sunny?
finally sunny.
Look at his little face. Like, yeah. I hope we get a tan
sunny.
today.
Yes, it's finally sunny. It's finally warm, so it's cool. Like
it's actually really nice weather because it's not dry yet. Like August.
But yeah, we're very happy I think helped your mood for sure. So we're very happy that London is finally catching up with the summer. Thank you guys for coming back to our channel. We're so excited about this week's episode as every single week. Please remember to subscribe, comment. We're so happy that our subscribers are growing. We have almost 140 now.
Ooh.
Do you remember a few weeks ago we were 100? We're now 140. Look at that. So thank you to everyone that is subscribed now, that comments. Please comment as much as you can and
Definitely
because it really helps our videos to stay relevant.
Yes.
So more people will reach to them.
And please share with anybody who you think would like our little voices.
Yes. And if you don't like to watch on YouTube, you can also listen to us on like every single podcast platform like Spotify, Apple, Google, all of them. We're
everywhere.
There. So
we are everywhere.
please,
You can't escape.
You can't escape from us. If not Instagram, we're
Always.
bombarding you.
And Facebook as well.
And Facebook, we're everywhere. We're like God, literally.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, we're excited. Who started this week?
Sorry guys if I seem a bit out of it. I do seem, just if I seem a tad fatigued, it is just because I had the second dose of the vaccine.
So Claire
so
now,
if I look like a robot,
you're a
fully
robot now.
That is
She's
why
about
I tried to keep the energy going. But
but
that's why maybe
the energy going. So if in the middle of the podcast Claire seems to be low
Dropped
energy,
off.
It's not like she hates me. It's not like any drama. It's not like she hates you guys.
It's just the vaccine is slowly seeping into my blood.
This is the second
vessels.
one, right? This is the second
dose.
one. So
I have to say I was a bit nervous because everyone's like, the second dose is awful of Pfizer.
Yeah.
So we'll see how the next 24 hours unfold.
Let's see if next week I'll be like, I'm not filming this week. It's like, fuck you. No, you're gonna be fine, I'm sure. For the first one, you were super good.
Absolutely fine. Just a little bit tired, sore arm. Absolutely fine.
Tomorrow you can rest.
We should be fine. But that is why if I don't see my normal self, that's why. But I've got my green tea here for our audio listeners. I've got my green tea, and he's got his peppermint.
I choose peppermint, thank you.
I got you peppermint. I didn't even ask.
I didn't even ask. Thank
anyway,
you.
who is going first?
Who's going first? I don't know. You want to go first? I
think it's your turn this week.
It's my turn? Well, okay, let me go first. So this is time for Enzo's secret topic of the week. For my topic this week, as we always do, we discuss about this through voice notes during the week or the last week. But I wanted to have a different approach. I don't know if it's a different approach, but I wanted to approach it in a really natural point of view.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about nationalism and like all related to feeling proud, happy, like all these feelings towards the place you are born or the place you feel identified with. Because I have a lot of thoughts on this because the thing is, I want to make a natural approach because I think if you go through the concepts of why and the where and blah blah and the reasons, you will be like, okay, yeah, that sounds reasonable. That's why you feel you should be so happy or proud to be part of somewhere. But I want to take it like take that out of the middle and speak about like what it means for us or what it means to you, especially for us that we have like mixed kind of background heritage because I'm from Venezuela, have Italian. You have also they're from here, from UK, but also you have the Italian heritage. So we have this blend, and I always felt a bit kind of, I don't know if disconnected is a word, but I always feel a bit. I'm not really. It's not like I'm proud of where I come from. It's nothing about that, but I don't feel this fire, eager, like proudness of the place I've been born with because I just feel it's just chances. I'm born when I'm born because yes, it happens to be. I didn't choose to be.
This was because of the football, right?
It's connected, because we saw last week with
it was a disastrous. So those of you, I mean, I'm sure everybody, even if for our listeners that don't live in the UK, I'm sure everybody saw this. Obviously, Italy won, which was kind of positive. In the Euro final, England lost, and it was really bad because it went to penalties and the 3 players that took the last 3 penalties that kind of like lost the game, although of course like it's a team thing, but they're black, and so they had a lot of racial abuse coming at them throughout the week. And there's like a big mural dedicated to Marcus Rashford, who's one of the players. He's done a lot in this country for kids on who use food who need school dinners basically. Through the pandemic, so he's done a lot of good because he grew up on school dinners. Like he needed like food stamps and stuff. And people like, you know, wrecked the mural and everything like that. And then it was really, really awful. And so I know you don't want to talk really about that, but I think it's kind of where it came from.
It is, because I think especially sports are really, really connected about nationalism, feeling that it's your country, completely. You're representing this thing. And I feel, even though I don't want to exactly go around it, as you say, but it's, what do you think about all this feeling? Because, for example, personally, again, I understand why you're proud where you come from, because you're born there, you study there, in theory, you do things to make the country better. It's not all the cases, but as you being a citizen, as you studying, as you give something back to society, right? That's why you're proud of, because you work with the rest of the community to make things better, I guess.
Yeah.
One of the things, right? But I always feel like people are so like have this crazy fire about it. Sometimes like, oh, you're from this place just out of chances. You're born in the UK and was born in Venezuela. Who knows why? So it's not like, I feel sometimes people feel so proud of this, and it's like you didn't do anything to be from that place. Yeah, you know, I think it's very complex. It's bigger than just that, but it's just like, you're from the UK just because, and I'm from Venezuela just because. I didn't do anything to do it.
It's true. Yeah.
It's like, and of course, there's things from my country I'm proud of because I was born there. It's like, oh yeah, I feel identified. I love them. I don't know. I love the Amazon or arepas. It's like, I'm proud of from my country, but just chances. You could be from Venezuela and you could have them. You know what I mean?
But do you think it's different for us? Because I feel the same. In fact, this might sound a bit controversial, but I think I'm sometimes a bit ashamed to be British. Okay. Actually, I think I've kind of, I think maybe you'll be the same as well, but I know in Venezuela, like with like Latin America, like everyone is from somewhere. Like you'll either their background will probably be like Spanish or like Italian, or it's to be a mix. So that I think. And that is the case in the UK, just like a lot further back, because because Britain is a complete mix. And I have found it very, very hard in recent years with like Brexit and everything. And I kind of feel some shame. I'll feel embarrassed. And, you know, if I go abroad, like, and people say like, where are you from? I'll be like, London. Because it's funny, isn't it? Like I don't feel ashamed of, and if they say like, oh, you, because people will always say this to me like, oh, you look like you're like Spanish or Italian, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm half Italian. I'll never be like, I'm British. Interesting. And so, for example, like with the football stuff, of course we know that like everyone knows that British football fans are like the scum, like the worst. Some of them, not all of them. Not all of them, of course, but we know, like, just look what happened. Everyone knew that was going to happen. Yeah. But like in general, like I do really feel like ashamed. I really, really do. And there's a lot, and it's funny because I'm like born and bred here. Like I was born here, like I grew up in Northwest London. I live in London now. But I don't really identify with like being British. Of course I will say I'm English, but like So
you think people that are more like has this fire or this like passion or this like nationalism feeling towards the countries because they feel like really related or really
like proud,
connected to everything of the culture? I wonder.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
I guess.
And I think that's the thing. Like, and I don't know if you feel that as well. Because do you have like nationalism in Venezuela? I'm assuming yes.
Yeah. I think it's not as mental. There's some people, but But
like, did you feel I'm Venezuelan, or did you feel like, well, I'm kind of a blend because you have such an Italian influence in your family?
That's an interesting point of view because for me it was always a natural thing because I grew up with really close to my grandparents. So for me it was very fluid, let's say. Like during the week I was having like, let's say, my Venezuelan life, and during the weekend I go on Sunday and it was like proper Italian moment because my grandparents were speaking Italian mixed with like the dialect from Naples, so it was that mix of languages mixed with Spanish, and the food was all like Italian inspired. Big table. I would get to the house, it was like opera or like Pavarotti singing out loud. It was very like going through like a tunnel to Italy for a second.
Yeah.
But for me, that was natural. It wasn't like I never felt like that was a different life, or I never felt like that was better than my regular life. Let's say like going to school with my friends that are from everywhere. You know, for me, it was very like mixed in a way.
But I wonder if you're like, I know this doesn't really exist in Venezuela, but like, say if you're like purely English, whatever that means. So say like, you know, you're like, if you do your like ancestry, like you're Scottish, Welsh, Irish, or something like that, does that make you more like I am English? Whereas like for me, like that was never going to make sense because I had different influences from the family.
That's a really good point. Like if you think we're maybe less nationalist because we have a blend, so we feel that we're more from many. Or
like I don't feel
that's interesting
because of course I will never say I'm Italian, but I wouldn't say I'm English. I would say I'm English, but like I wouldn't be like. It's hard to explain, isn't it? It's sort of like it's a blend, and I wonder if that's.
It's interesting because we have this blend, but also you haven't lived in Italy. I haven't lived in Italy, so I don't feel Italian either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I go to Italy,
completely.
and it's not like this is actually where I come from. I'm proud of this. No, but then in Venezuela. I never was like super like my country. I will never like that, but because maybe you're right because we have the blend. Yeah. So for us, it's not like 100% this. It's more like something, but the other half, let's say, we don't live there, so we have just some cultural aspects from our grandparents, but that's it.
When people are really proud of where they come from, or they push it to the extreme, and they're like nationalistic, because obviously there's a difference between like proud and then nationalistic. I wonder if it is. I wonder what would make somebody be like that, and maybe it is because they feel like they're disappearing, and like because I always wondered like, apart from you want to say like economic reasons if you want to go down that route or like whatever, I wondered why somebody would want to have left Europe. Like I would try to understand it, like what would make you want to be in that position where we're now like not connected to like anything, we're just like an island on our own. And it's like, is that because people feel like, you know, the UK is so multicultural now, like what does it mean for somebody who is just English? I don't know.
It's a weird feeling. That's what I'm trying to always understand. And that's why I didn't want to read about it, because I know there will be like some maybe explanation that will maybe, I wanted to come from like our experience.
But I just think like why can't you have both? Why can't you be proud of being British, from the UK, for example, and why can't you have immigrants who are also proud of their heritage as well? Like why
what's the problem with that?
Why, you know?
But I guess it's this fight of I'm from this place, this is my place, and you don't belong here because this is mine. And it's like I think it comes maybe for the absurd idea that we humans, we belong to a specific tribe, and we're not. I mean, we create the borders, you know, like without. I don't want to sound hippie, but the world and the planet is one, and it's all mixed together. And then with that, when the humans, we say like from here to here, this is the UK. From here to here, this is Italy. This is Spain. It's created by us. So again, why are like, oh, I'm from this piece of land. This is amazing. It's like, well, from the piece of land that it's next to that. So I understand that the cultures, for me, it's a bit difficult to get it. Like, why you go so crazy because you belong to some piece of land, basically. For me, it's as simple as that.
But do you think that is also to do with the fact that, like, you're now an immigrant?
Yeah.
You know, you're, like, an immigrant here. And, like, so you have, like, a really interesting mix of different things where you, and, like, your family that's in the UK as well, like, you are Italian blood, born and bred in Venezuela, but you're now also kind of Londoner as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, say if, like, you have kids, like, what blend will they be?
Yeah,
and, like, I think... But I think that's really, not to sound really hippie, but I think that's really beautiful. And I think that's this country at its best. And that's why lots of people want to come here and come to London, for example, because I am proud to be a Londoner.
Interesting.
But we're losing that. And that's really sad and wrong. And
because the vision kind of thing.
Because also, like, we're all from somewhere. Like, my nonna emigrated here, like, after Mussolini, like, your grandparents emigrated to Venezuela, and like everyone you know, like my best friend is British born Chinese, like her parents immigrated here, and like I grew up with like loads of different people from loads of different countries, and that's amazing. And I think that's just, I don't know, it doesn't like deny your like somebody's heritage to if somebody else, like surely you can just like, I know that's very idealistic and the world doesn't work like this, but like how great would it be if we were like, oh, I really love Colombian food, I'm gonna go to like Elephant and Castle and integrate that, but I'm also like Italian British. It doesn't like undo your thing. Does that make sense?
It's not like something, I don't know, damaging your
completely like
background. I don't really know, and I don't know where that comes from, and I never felt connected to that in any way. I'm not very like.
Was there any time where you were like, I'm from Venezuela? Like,
no,
and you were like, like
not
that?
really. I guess living here, it made me realize things about my country, but it made me feel like, you know, when people ask me where are you from, I said I'm from Venezuela. I say very happily I'm from Venezuela, and I think it's cool because I like my country. You know, I like when they say like, oh yeah, it's a beautiful country. It's like, well, yeah, it's more than beautiful. I mean, yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, have a lot of issues, but I like people when they say it's a beautiful country. But that doesn't mean I will wear like a Venezuelan t-shirt. It's like, why? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't mean I'm not proud of my country. I'm not proud of my tradition, but my way to show like I'm proud of it is like sharing with you my food kind of thing. Like, oh, let's make arepas. That's for me. It's a valid and a logical way to show I'm proud of my part of my culture.
Yes.
Than wearing like a flag or like destroying streets because I'm pissed off because I lose a game, or like you don't need to show you're proud somewhere in a destructive or like aggressive way to show that you really are. I think there are little things you can do like actually it you know, it shows that.
Do you ever feel like you've lost your culture at all, having lived here for years?
No, I don't think so. I think luckily because some members of my family are here, and I have friends from Venezuela that are here. So I guess I always have that thing to come back to. Like if I meet my friends from Venezuela, my Venezuelan friends, I will be like, it's always a link to home. It's like kind of, I think that makes it easier not to lose it. But I guess if you go to a country, you have no one. I will get there, the point of let me find something to connect to my culture because I'm feeling something missing, but I never had that. Also because I always wanted to explore, and I'll never be, because I've never been a nationalist. I'll never be like, oh, I miss to see my flag in the corner of the street every single. No, I've never been like that. Or I miss this. There's things I miss, but I've never been like.
Because I think Italians can be very like that.
Italians can,
generally.
My grandfather, he was very like that.
Mine too.
For sure.
Yeah,
and
they're
even,
really like that.
And we're not like that. That's interesting. We're not like that. Maybe it's a generational thing as well,
Yeah.
because we're not like that. Even though our grandparents are very like nationalism.
And also, I guess for our grandparents, it was different because it was like, oh shit, like this is serious. Like I'm leaving my country now. There's no connect. Whereas for us, it's like even if you had no Latin friends here, Venezuelan friends, you have social media. Yeah, so you'll be in like you could do like a meetup group, and it'll be like Venezuelans in London.
I can watch videos of Venezuelans on YouTube every single day.
You know,
that's true. It's a really good point.
So I think that
could come from that as well.
A bit.
But anyway, it was an interesting topic. I think it's a topic like we can talk about it really for longer. It's many layers to it. And yeah, well, we'll do that. Our traditional 1 minute recap about nationalism. Whatever you want to talk about this topic, wherever you're ready, let me know.
I'm ready.
You're ready.
I'm literally like,
you're like,
this is a lot.
So yes, what are your thoughts? 1 minute for you, Claire, to tell me everything about nationalism. And if you're gonna wear a British t-shirt soon.
Kill me, please.
Boom.
Okay. Well, I think it's very, very sad in a way. Like there's something really sad about this topic. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with being proud of your culture, and I guess for us that we have like a blend anyway, so it's kind of natural that I'm sure I do wonder if like you're born a blend of different cultures, you're more readily like accepting of different things. Like it's just maybe the way that you're brought up. You're like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. And I think I would prefer that way to be. I think that no problem being proud of your culture, but just be receptive to other people's cultures as well. I'm not sure that's not really adding anything, but I just wish that we could find some kind of like
don't hurt anyone
unity with it, and I wish we
10
didn't
seconds.
have Brexit, of course. That makes me very sad. And yeah, take from your culture what you want, leave what you don't want, and that's about it, I would say.
Just right in time.
It's a bit heavy. I think it's
heavy.
It's somewhat like...
It makes you think, I feel like. I'm still thinking about this since we kind of discussed about it. I'm still like, why? Like...
Also, can I just say that I made him arepas today before we shot this.
You know,
So look at the culture blending.
and that's amazing. That's my way to show like I won't like hurt anyone because I lose a match, or I won't like smash something, or I will like wear a Venezuelan t-shirt,
Exactly.
which I think are ugly, like t-shirt with a flag. Not Venezuelan, any t-shirt with a flag. I think it's not the
God.
best ones. So my way would like
Arepa.
show arepas. That's how I show I'm proud of where I come from.
If we didn't meet, maybe I would never have eaten an arepa in my
Yeah,
life. I'd never
yeah,
even
you never
heard
know.
of an arepa.
Yeah.
Now I bloody love them.
And she made arepas.
And I made arepas.
Really pretty good arepas, I have to
Right.
say. Great job.
Claire's secret topic of the week.
This is the proper iPad. This is not a baby iPad. This
Someone
is the proper...
remember to charge it this week. So
It takes someone to charge. It's this,
I know, right? Well,
So surprise me, Claire. What are we going to
okay.
talk about this week?
Today, I think my brain is flagging. Sorry, guys. I'm
It's
trying
the
my
Pfizer.
absolute
It's the
best.
Pfizer. There's the anti-vax watching. This is like, that's the vaccine. You tell you it's the
I'm
vaccine.
literally
It's
like,
fine. Take it easy.
I wanted to talk about something that I was talking about with a friend. She mentioned that she'd had a conversation with a friend of hers
Okay.
who is it's about dating.
Dating
In the modern
Interesting,
era.
complicated, messy topic.
And now I'm saying it, I'm wondering if we will go in a different direction with it. But anyway, what the point is that she said that she has never asked a guy out first. And this is something that she wants to change. Never. And I think she's
Okay.
like mid-30s or something like that.
Okay.
And it really surprised me, and it really surprised my friend as well. Because I, personally, I have always asked first.
You go for it. It's like, I like that guy.
Completely.
Hello.
And it really, I was
fair enough.
really thinking about it. And coincidentally,
Mm-hmm.
there's a really good, successful YouTuber called Anna Akana. I really like her videos. I mentioned to you
Yeah,
a few times.
mentioned
Really,
to me.
really well produced. I'm going to leave a link to her video in the description below for our YouTube watchers. But this week, it's like this weird law of attraction. She did a video, which was like why I always ask the guy out first. And I was like,
Interesting.
right, this is my topic.
Well,
Done.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
I feel like I heard from a lot of my female friends in the past that will never ask a guy out because not something like a woman does.
Okay.
Yeah. Perdón. ¿Qué?
Pardonnez-moi. That's like a weird French.
That's a weird
Pardonnez-moi.
What?
How does excuse me in Spanish?
Perdona or disculpa? Depends.
Disculpa.
Disculpa? Or what? Yeah, like ¿qué? Yeah, ¿qué is
I think
fine.
I was born to be on like a telenovela. Do you not think?
Maybe. Really, so emotional. Anyway,
I was like, no,
I heard...
please stop it immediately.
You stay in London, please. No, I heard a lot of my female friends and like women overall saying like they will never ask the guy because it's not like something doesn't look good kind of thing because you seem like typical sexist traditional way that the women has to be demure, reserved, quiet, has to be like well, they need to wait for the flowers, they need to be blah blah blah, they need to be taken out. Like it's always I think it comes from this position of women shouldn't have like autonomy, yeah, basically power, autonomy. They should wait for the man to allow them to have autonomy.
It's really
So
funny.
I think go from that.
Because also when in the Anna Akana video that I was watching, she said that obviously, she's super kind of like cool and like forward thinking and feminist. She was saying that it kind of kills the chase, and we've been told like, oh, it kills the chase if you, the woman, ask the man out, and obviously she thinks that's
sexist.
wrong.
Yeah.
It didn't even enter my mind.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, because it's like, in theory, like a man will expect you to not say anything, so they're kind of like chasing you, kind of thing, like, I'm gonna like get her. But that is so sexist. It's like,
Is this why I'm single?
yeah.
I was like, it didn't
And
even
so?
enter my mind. Why did no one tell me this? No, but I'm joking. Like, I think for me, I was
horrible,
like,
yeah.
who has the time
To wait for.
Oh my god, come on, ask. But I've always been like that. Even like when I was like 16,
Your nature.
17. Like
So-
I just
because you've always been very like open-minded and very like I think
so.
you're being like an artistic, creative environment,
Oh, love, thank you.
that helps. So you're like, yeah, no, that helps for sure, because artistic and creative environments are more open and about freedom and expression. So normally you wouldn't be afraid of show someone that you like.
I also feel like for me it's just like a patience thing. Like I really don't want to say at all that it was like a feminist act. I'm going to ask him out on a date, because it's not at all. It just I'm just really impatient, and if I like someone, I'll just be like, hey, do you want to...
And you don't feel at all that you're being like, you are lowering yourself, or you're being like easy doing that.
God, no, because it doesn't mean you're going to do anything. Just going on... and even if you did, absolutely fine.
Because the thing, like, that's the thing. Like, the thing, like... I mean, that's coming from maybe in Latin America, this is even stronger. But I feel like what I always heard as a joke, but it's joke, like a real joke in Latin America, if a woman does that, it's like, oh, she's an easy woman.
Ask the guy out first.
Yeah, of course. It's like, oh, don't be easy, don't be that. You know,
let him chase you.
Because that's the.
This is really toxic.
It's really toxic, really but I don't know if it's here the same. But in Latin America, I heard this my whole life. That's why most of my female friends they will wait for the men to make a move, because if not, you're gonna be the easy one or the slutty one, because you are very straightforward.
Wow, this is really blowing my mind. I know this is my topic, but I'm like, wow, this is mind blowing.
That's on my mind. That's the kind of thought I have on my mind, even though I don't agree with it, and my closest friends are not like that. But I know that's what people think.
It's the like treat him mean to keep him keen bullshit.
Yeah,
it's that kind of thing, or like play hard to get.
Literally, which is such a bullshit thing.
I don't think I'm really hard to get. Not in a... That sounds bad.
Like, just say a hi and that's it. Well, that's a stream.
Just waving a rapper under my nose and I'm yours. And I'm done. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get married. Let's do all of that. No,
it's not about that. Clearly, it's not about that.
It's just like, I find it very boring, you know, with a guy for me. And I think maybe you're the same. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if the person is like, oh, I'm just so not interested, bye then, I don't find it attractive at all. Like, not to be clingy either or key, and it's nice to have a bit of like mystique and like a bit of chase. I think that's important. Like, but somebody like treating you mean to keep you keen, hell no. Treat me mean, bye.
Boring, and that's tiring, and it takes so long. Yeah, I think I don't know if it's toxic. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you like that for yourself, that's okay. If you like to feel that you're being chased, or like you don't like to make the first move, but if it comes from a place that you don't like it because maybe you're shy or maybe because you like that, okay. But when it comes from this culture or part of it, and with it always comes from women. And why it comes from women, this way of thinking? Because that's what being told to women, that you need to wait for a man to do this. You know, that's why it's so popular with
the normal thing with women.
With women that wouldn't like do it because I don't want to seem like I'm easy. So it's not like because the woman wants to do it. It's just because it's a pressure from outside, which is very like. Completely. Then if it's your choice, well, perfectly. I mean, you can be a person like, oh no, I will never make the move because I'm feeling desired. I want people to chase me. Personal choice, good, but that's a different story.
But surely, like, I don't know. I think the point is now is that like it is 2021, and like our roles have changed. So therefore, it is really okay if you're a woman to ask out a guy first.
But what's the problem, right?
Like, it should be completely fine.
If someone asks me out, I feel like it's sexy.
Right?
Yeah, of course. Like if it's I'm talking from my point of view, but if it's like a straight relationship, I will find it sexy. Like, why? I think what's the problem? Why men, they are not allowed to feel also chase?
Yeah.
But if chase is a word, why a man cannot be allowed to feel like, oh, the woman
like
wants
seduced,
to
like
seduce?
wowed.
Why? Yeah, exactly. Like,
even.
Because if you think about it, it's unfair. I mean, I don't want to be like, oh, poor man, la la la. But all these roles are very toxic more for women, and more obviously more damaging towards women, but also towards men. Because then men, they're never expecting a woman to seduce them, and if it's a woman doing that, he will think, oh, maybe she's too easy. Maybe she's not right for being a mom, or she's not right for being my wife because she's an easy woman. So I don't want that kind of mentality, right? Why men are not allowed to feel that, like being seduced, chased, or like, oh yeah, the woman is asking me out. How exciting is that?
Do you know also what I've noticed? Sorry to interrupt you, that I think a lot of men maybe nice, good heterosexual men in this case, maybe will they be a bit scared to ask like the woman first because of like, and it's right in a way, but like because of like Me Too, and would they be a bit like, until I get like a really really freaking clear signal that I wonder if like that's kind of a thing, and maybe that's why like it's probably. It's true. I don't know if that's like giving men the benefit of the doubt a little bit, but I wonder if that's kind of
it makes sense, because what if you don't know, what if you cross the line and the woman maybe overreacts because she felt some certain type of way, and she's like, oh no, this is like, and maybe she felt like that. That's complicated because you know how the other person will feel, because maybe the other person will feel attacked or will feel like something is not right. I don't know, it's complicated. But talking about this topic, I think I'll show you the picture today I found really refreshing. It was this friend. Well, she's not a friend of mine. So I met her like in a course we did together. It's an acquaintance, yeah. We were not really in touch, but she's a really nice girl. We met her like in this course, blah, 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 2-3 years ago. And now today on Instagram, I saw like she's getting married, or when she got like engaged. And she was the one who went with a hike with a boyfriend, and she proposed to the boyfriend.
I love that.
And I was like, this is probably the first time I have seen this on Instagram.
Yeah.
And the first time from somebody like I know. So I found really refreshing that she wasn't the one in one knee, and I was with the ring, and the guy was like, oh my God, like how cool,
it's so nice.
How cool is that? Whoever feels it first, just do it.
Completely.
And why, like, I feel also unfair for, like, for example, women. They need to wait until the man feels, or the man feels comfortable, or maybe. It's a crazy pressure.
It's like these, like, like the rom-coms where they're like, oh my God, you need to like make hints. You need a hint to him that you want to get married.
Horrible. No,
just ask. The time.
Exactly.
It's
Why you
so
don't ask like, do you think maybe we should get married soon?
Yeah.
And that will be okay. Well, maybe let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like it's just so backwards in a way.
And again, I found interesting because this gives the man the opportunity to experience something that men normally don't experience.
Yeah, it's actually really true.
So imagine
Cute.
how cute it is, like, or how exciting it must be for him to like his girlfriend like is proposing him. That's how cool. But I wonder what comes. Do you think like maybe friends that will be like, oh, he didn't propose first. It was her that has to like. Oh, she's so pushy. She was the one who has to propose because it wasn't him. He's the man.
If they want to be like that, or maybe
I'm sure.
I wonder for a lot of men if like they, or they think they want it, or like that experience of like one day I will ask a woman to marry me, and you've like taken away that experience for me. Of course, in the case of your friend, like she probably knew like. They probably have a really cool relationship where
and
like
she knew that maybe he doesn't care about
he's going to be fine.
He will be fine.
That.
Or what about like then he surprised her and he do the same? Why?
That would be
why
so
we don't
cute.
have that? Why we don't have that both parts, whatever they feel, they propose. If both parts would like to feel. For example, I don't know if I would like to propose. I don't know. I don't because I'm not sure about if I want to get married or not. It's not really like something that's really important for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want to be the one who proposed. But what if both did it in different moments in a fun way, like
adorable.
I think it's good to like kind of break or change this boring, samey, normative way of experience things.
I think it's like it should be about your personality, right? Like,
Definitely.
And if somebody is like, yeah, maybe in relationships I tend to be more of the like. Yeah. I don't want to say dominant. What's the like nice word for dominant?
Active, proactive. Also a bit negative, like
dominant. Maybe more forward, because I guess that's just who I am. Like you probably, like who I am in my life. Like I'm not going to wait for somebody to like give me the job that I want to have, or I'm not going to wait for somebody to like do the podcast for me. I will do it. So why wouldn't I be like that in my relationship?
True.
Why you need to follow that? It's just not my nature to be passive.
Yeah.
So that is what I think everybody should try and do, or like maybe some people would more like to be chased, like we say, or like to be like
why not?
wooed or whatever, but like
why not half and a half?
Do however you want to be and whatever you think is like attractive.
Exactly.
And,
you know, I feel it's very unfair for women to feel like they will never make the move, and maybe they will. And sometimes maybe it takes. Imagine if you like a guy, and the guy maybe he's just waiting for something to click with him, and the thing you saying like you want to go out with me, that will be the click. Like, why it has to be always the other way around? Why it has to be the man that has to be sure and like and I'm gonna take you out because you're the woman? What is not the other way around? Why men has insecurities as well. Maybe they're not sure. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they need that motivation, that energy from the other side to say, like, oh my God, yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
But what that comes
maybe they're scared of rejection. And I think it is actually unfair for men to always have to be the ones who are like bracing themselves for a rejection.
Why?
Because it's a two-way street, right? So
this needs to change. I
it
guess
really does.
If you're a woman, I think you should go for it. If you like the guy,
absolutely go for it. Bloody hell, go for it.
We're not
cool.
who has time, to be honest. You know, we're here for a fun time, not for a long time. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, we should be more feeling our personalities and what we feel,
and it's not like,
what the others
hey,
say.
do you want to have sex? It's like, it can just be like, hey, would you like to go for a drink? Like, that's enough to be like, I'm making the first move, and that's okay.
That doesn't include, like, if you feel like, oh, no, that's what I feel. Like, if you feel like, oh no, that means it's a sign for sex. No,
not at all. Like, a drink means a drink, clearly. Like, that's
the thing. And maybe that's also related to that, because normally
so
men, they're like, oh no, because she's asking me, she's kind of like, oh, it implies everything. No.
Mm-mm.
A drink implies a drink.
Yeah, completely.
A drink doesn't imply sex necessarily. If it happens and if both sides are on it.
Yeah.
But I think that comes a bit, which is sad, from the fear of women to being like...
Yeah, I agree.
Like men overstepping and crossing I think,
and also, like, if something bad happens to me, have I asked for it then? This is the height of toxicity. Like, so if I get raped, then it's because I asked him for the drink, and that is a very real thing, you know.
And I understand that, but that's a social thing that we need to change. It's something that we need to talk and change, and it needs to be...
I think this conversation obviously, like, really refers to, like, us, or like for me and like my girlfriends, like women in their 30s who are like kind of know themselves in like a good kind of position and stuff. Like, of course it's different with like teenagers and everything like that. Not that like sexual assault can't happen in any kind of stage of your life, of course,
but like thing,
that kind of thing, I think that's what this kind of refers to. Wow, okay, well now it is time for Encito to give us his recap. You have 60 seconds to tell us your thoughts on this topic. Ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
So I do feel this should be, related to your personality and who you are and what you feel is best for you. I hate the idea that we do things because someone told us, or because society tells women to act in a way, or men to act in a way. That's what we do, even if it's against us. Again, I'm sure a lot of men, they hate to ask women to go on a date, but they need to put a brave face on and do it because that's what society tells them. I'm sure a lot of women, they feel that they want to go for a guy and like, oh my God, I love that guy, he's hot, whatever, I want to ask him, but they don't do it because society say blah blah blah, because a friend will tell her, oh, you're being easy, you're being slutty or whatever. So I feel we need to break the stupid things. We just need to follow whatever we feel. It's good with us. And I think if we all slowly we start to do it, we want to create a change in the future.
Totally.
And like, if you have
10 seconds.
Friends or things, talk about these topics and nobody should be ashamed to do whatever, because relationship, kisses, dates, sex, whatever, it should be something free that makes them feel good, not ashamed. And that's my conclusion.
Very nice.
Boom. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Absolutely done. No, you're absolutely completely right. Like, I think, if we could get to a place where it was more personality based instead of gender norms, outdated gender norms.
Yes. So, guys, I think this is.
I think I'm done. I think
enough
I'm
chit chat for today. Claire is now like fucking Pfizer.
I think I'm done.
Enough chit chat for today.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to subscribe.
You will be talking about it.
Subscribe, like, share, comment. Thank you so much as always, guys. See you.
Thank you so much, guys. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.